Alright guys, welcome back to Our World Outdoors. So today we are close to home base. We are here in the beautiful Hocking Hills, getting ready to enjoy some amazing trails. Honey, where are we at today?
We are at the Hocking Forest Bridle Trails, and we're going to be doing the orange and purple loop.
Now, this trail is on All Trails, so we will put a link down in the description below. We are parked at the Hocking Horseman's Camp. So, that I would say park at your own risk, but they do have a day use permit system you do need to fill out. So we're going to take you through this wonderful trail. It's estimated this loop is somewhere around 7 miles. You will encounter horse manure because it is a horse trail. But with that said, I'm ready to go before it gets any hotter today. So honey, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Alright guys, so as you saw, we had to go from the Horseman's Camp and cross the street to get on the trail. Now, once you start following these orange blazes, you're going to quickly realize this is a horse trail because there's horse manure everywhere. It's not a big deal though. The bigger deal I would want to let you guys know is come here on a dry time if possible, because yeah, during a muddy time, this could all be a big problem. Now, there is some reroutes already in place. It does make it a little more simple for my wife, who's like knee-high to a grasshopper, not to disappear into the mud. But honestly, if you're here on a semi-dry day, I think you'll be just fine. Now, I will say we probably are going to have to come back this winter, because as we were coming into the left, we saw some caves that were kind of covered by some foliage. So, and actually there's another one, honey. And I say caves, this is like the old man's cave style caves here. The overhangs, rock overhangs, and then up through the valleys, there'll be like little overhangs that we call caves. But I'm finding them all over the place, and I honestly believe that the winter is going to be beautiful here. So that said, be careful to come here when it's dry. And I would bring your bug spray, because if you stop, the flies just bug you during the summer. That's why I'm looking forward to a winter hike here.
So that's the orange trail that we just came down. We looked at the map just across from me. Over here we thought this was the purple trail, but actually this is the pink trail. So make sure you don't think that's the trail you're going to want. And we are going to actually continue to go that way on the orange trail to the next section. Alright guys, so we popped out on Gordon Road and went to the right. Be careful that you don't follow the blue, because as you could see in the previous clip, the purple blazes do not stand out very well on the trees. So make sure you watch closely. We're going to follow this road for a ways and then dart back into the woods.
So as you've seen, we've been walking down this right of way, and actually we've come to a turn point here where you can go right or left. We want to go right on the purple. Now, as a side note, Missy was smart enough to remind me, and we haven't seen a lot today, but it still is a thing. If you're on a horse trail or bridle trail, equestrian trail, whatever you want to call it, and you come across somebody on horses, it's generally good practice and good trail etiquette to step off the side and let them go by. Some of these horses get very spooked by people standing next to them, so just kind of a nice little trail etiquette to jump out of the way and let them go by. So we've come to a slight impasse, and we tried to throw some rocks in it to walk across, and there's just not enough rocks to do it. And unfortunately the other side's all muddy, so this is really gonna suck. So we've resorted to pulling the shoes off. If it wasn't for the fact we've got like 4 miles left or 3.5 miles left, we probably would have just walked through, but that's a long time in this heat with all these bugs.
Ooh, that is cold.
That is super cold. That is ice cold. What are you doing? Come on.
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting.
I'm hurrying.
You're
across.
waiting. I'm waiting. Oh, looky here. Here's the squishy part. Let's see if I can do this without falling. You know that like 90% of that is horse poop. Yeah. How's it feel between your toes?
Like a mud bath.
Like a horse poop on your feet bath. Nasty. All right, so we just popped out when we came across the creek on this road. And luckily they have mappage here and signage. So Webster Road, you said?
Yes, Webster Road.
So at least gives us an idea where we are. It says you are here, point I. So it means we're going which way?
We are going to the right. See the purple?
Oh, yeah, there, I see it.
So just off to your right, just down over the hill, you'll see a concrete picnic bench and some tie-offs for the horses. You see this pipe coming up, it's an artesian well, which is one of the favorite things to see on this hike.
So we believe this is Turtle Rock. If you look at it here, the eye, like the eyebrow there, and the mouth, and the nose, and it's kind of the whole head just sticking out of the ground there. It's marked on the map, but unfortunately we turned off our all trails and lost service, so we can't be sure. But it sure looks like it. And I mean, there's funny markings over here, so I would guess that that is Turtle Rock. It does kind of look like a turtle head. So we just hit a blowdown, guys, which covered the trail. So we went on one that has freshly been kind of trampled down to get around it. And I come walking up to get back on the trail and almost stepped on this guy. And this is why you need to pay attention on the trail. So how you doing, buddy? I'm not gonna step on you, don't you worry. So as you can see, he just wants to sit there and chill out. I don't want to bother him, so I'm gonna back up and go around. But just keep your eyes open on the trail. And boom, just like that, we're back. What an amazing adventure that was. We actually got to see a lot of things that I had not expected. I had not expected that we'd see that artesian well. That was actually a really cool thing to check out. And then the turtle head, I mean, it took a minute to really pay attention to it. And if you looked at it from the other side, you couldn't really see it. But once you got past it, turned around and looked back at it, you could clearly see the turtle's head there. So that was a pretty cool experience. I did enjoy walking through the water because it actually cooled us off, even though I was walking in giant turds. But we cleaned our feet off, wrapped them back up in our socks and shoes, and got back on the trail. So, what do you think overall?
I thought it was a pretty good trail. I am glad that we waited until it had been dry for 2 or 3 days. Could have been a really muddy trail, but actually for us, it really was not bad at all.
Even places that look like you might step and sink, all the high spots were dry, so you could just walk on the high spots. It wasn't bad at all. Now, I would be concerned to come here during the wet season. Not just because of that, but because even today, with us having Picardin on and a little bit of Cutter, there were still bugs, guys. Not a lot, but enough to be irritating. Now, if you come to the Hocking Hills, you're looking for something to get away from people, this is the one to come. We did see a few horses today, but we saw no one else hiking. So if you're looking for a location where people will not bother you, this is definitely it. But with that said, if you haven't already, and I don't know why you wouldn't have, go down, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button so you see all of our upcoming videos. Drop us a like, and honey,
We will see you up the trail.
good, time to eat. Let's go.